Well, hello and welcome to this week's Pubcast. We got in a bit of trouble last week, didn't we?
A little bit.
Surprising.
Slap wrists.
It was really immature. I'm sorry, but can I just apologise for last week's episode? Really immature. I mean, how much can you talk about willies, family tubes, manhoods? It's absolutely embarrassing. No, it really is. And I'm really sorry for the lady viewers as well. Really am. So this week we're going to talk about tits and fannies. Funny, right?
I think we should put a disclaimer out for anyone that is new that even though this is called the Photography Pubcast, it's not all about photography. It's obviously six guys in a virtual pub talking photography, but also talking about any other things that we would naturally talk about when we get together in a pub. Not necessarily that, James, but you know, we do go off road from time to time.
We are on episode 31 though, aren't we?
We are,
32 now.
We're loosening up, aren't we? We're getting loose.
Crescendo.
We're just getting ready for 2021.
Because we've covered most of the photography topics and now we're just falling on the crap.
But also, anybody of a sensitive nature should clock out about 30 minutes in, because that's when the alcohol starts to kick in.
That's true.
Yeah, true.
That is very true.
Although I'm not sure tonight because I think Mally's has kicked in already. Well, it looks the thing.
Me too. Yeah. I've had a crap week.
Have you, mate?
I'm anaesthetising myself now.
Well cheers, done. Gentlemen. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. So, talking about weeks, how's everybody's week been? Should we start with you, Mally? How's your week been, mate?
Yeah, it's been tough. It was a tough old week. Sunset, sunrise, wonderful every day, and I'll admit, the other morning I got up and I had my piece of toast with strawberry jam on and best butter. I know. And I looked out like that and thought, look at that, look at it. It was like Lord Sauron had just spurted across the sky. It was incredible. And what could I do? And I'm not doing a 365, so I am missing taking a picture every day. Isn't that strange? I'm missing, just get it. Even, it doesn't matter if it's rubbish or not. Just to the ability, you know. So
why don't you continue doing it then?
But I've started doing late night edits.
Nice.
Volume 1, 2, 3.
You've been drinking a lot, haven't you?
No, do you know I only ever drink when I'm with you lot?
The thing to do is a 182.5 and just post one every 48 hours.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time working that out, didn't you, Dave? I was going the other way. I was thinking 700 and 700 and something.
Yeah, that's me. Work, no play, makes Mally.
Have you had fog today? Has everyone had fog today?
No.
Yeah,
it's foggy outside here.
We have had fog all day, literally the whole day.
Have you?
Yeah, and I haven't been out in it. Well,
there's forecasted this morning, but none at all.
Yeah, no, all day long.
Well, it didn't arrive for me in Cambridge until probably about 8 o'clock this morning. Driving in today, it was clear. It might have been about 8:30, but then once it arrived, super thick all day. And driving home, kind of through the fens, seriously thick.
Did you have your phone on you? Take some pickies?
No, because of what I've been doing, I've been taking the vlogging camera, the A6400. I actually keep that in my van all the time now. So, there's been so many times I've been driving to work, not too much at the moment because it's dark, but I've been thinking, I wish I had my camera with me, but I don't really want to take my big camera with me. So now I just keep the small one with me and take it into the college as well. So I managed to get some quite nice shots today, or at least they look like anyway, once I get them on the computer. Because they've been using a lot of my photos just recently for their newsletters and their Facebook groups.
That's great.
Yeah.
Commission.
I notice you tag a lot of yours with the weather channels as well, don't you? Chris Page and a few of the others down. Has anybody ever put it on the TV?
I've been on the local ITV, I think. Chris Page's. Yeah, I've been on
Anglian.
Been on there.
Ganglion TV.
I've been on the local news a couple of times, but
That's
But
quite
yeah, no,
much
no.
now.
Yeah, not for that. Not for that.
Pass washing.
Anybody out there done any talks this week? Any camera club talks? Anybody?
Oh, no.
Wanna put their hands up.
I did one. I did.
Oh, did you?
I did. Yeah, no, I did my first ever camera club presentation via Zoom
done, mate.
on Monday night. Yeah, that was an experience. Didn't know what to
You're
expect.
safer via Zoom because they can't chuck stuff at you.
Yeah, and I could switch off or just
Put you in
blame the
stocks.
connection if it
Throw
went wrong.
tomatoes.
Yeah, no, it was all right actually. As I say, I
Brilliant.
didn't know what to expect, and I think it went down all right. I put out a precursor at the beginning to say, look, I'm going to tell you my way. I'm not going to teach you how to suck eggs. I'm not going to teach you how to take pictures. I'm just going to tell you the way I've got on doing my landscapes and woodlands. And if you get anything from it, brilliant. If you don't, you don't. But it seemed to go down all right, and they've invited me to do a guided tour around the fens at some point in time where we can all get out and about. So
What camera club is it, Jay?
it's just a local one. It's a guy that I knew. It's Royston. It's quite close to where Gary is down there, I think. So yeah, it's just a
Royston.
localish club. But yeah, there was a dozen people on the Zoom chat. So yeah, technology worked. So all good. Yeah.
Very
so if
good,
anybody
mate.
wants to me to do another one, the next time it'll be £250.
And that's just the introductory offer.
Well
Yeah,
done.
absolutely. Yeah.
No, it's
Friday
Black
deals
Friday.
available.
Black Friday,
Yeah.
some might say.
Well, I've had a crappy week, absolutely crappy week, and I'm going to spew it all out right now so I feel better.
Go for it, mate.
Beeping machine.
My lovely daughter is due to make me a grandfather shortly, because I'm ancient, and she was due to come and visit for the first time since she announced her good news, and because they've made a complete bollocks of sorting out this COVID, she can't.
Oh,
So
no.
she'll probably, the next time I see her, she'll probably be a mum, and that's how fucking annoyed I am.
Yeah.
I thought you'd come out of lockdown, Dave Wales.
No, down south's in
Yeah, but
3 though.
Is it? Where is she
Yeah,
from?
but she
Where's she coming from?
well, she lives in the Thames Valley, but she can't travel. So,
When's she due,
but we had a weekend planned. We were going to hang out literally one weekend. Haven't seen her since last Christmas because of COVID. We've followed the rules, and I don't know when I'll see her now. And it's pretty fucking depressing, to be honest, because I mean, we're not going to cause anybody any risk, but we can't get together.
I hear rumours that Wales might be going back into stricter lockdowns again as well. Stricter
Yeah,
measures.
well, Birkford has come out and made a load of gormless statements today. I didn't bother listening. I'm fed up with it now. Just totally fed up with it.
I think everyone is.
I think
Anyway,
everyone's.
so how you all doing?
Yeah, all right. all
No,
right.
I think everyone's suffering from it now, Dave. I mean, my mum, she'll be 90 next spring, and I've not seen her since early this year. And I spoke to her like a few days ago, and I just said, "Oh, look, Mum, just thinking about Christmas," and because I didn't want to not offer, And I said, "Mum," and she went, "No." She went, "No, just send me a card, and you ring me every day. That's good enough." But I think deep down, she just, she's terrified. I mean, crikey, if she caught it, well, that'd be it, So, yeah, it's hard for everybody at the moment.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it? With Christmas coming up, we really don't know what to do, whether to
No.
have parents over or not, and it is just really, really tough. We've
I
gone
think
into
there'll be a
tier,
free for all. Well,
yeah, we've
think
gone
it'll
into
be free
tier
for-
3 as well around here. We were tier,
Have
we
you?
were medium tier, yeah. Lincolnshire's gone into tier 3, and that's because the guys up north, bloody northerners, they're the ones that are spreading COVID down there and infected us down the south. So yeah, we're in tier 3.
Not me. We've been reduced, but it's nothing to celebrate, is it?
you're in two, aren't you? It's surprising that. I'm in
Yeah.
3.
Well, it's ironic because there's the border between Cambridgeshire and Lincolnshire is a river that runs in our village. So if you live the other side of the river, you're in Cambridgeshire, which is tier 2, and you can go for a meal in a pub. But if you're in this side of the river, you're tier 3, and you got to stay at home and can't go to the pub.
I read on Twitter there was a journalist said someone had contacted him and their house is in tier 3 and their garden's in tier 2.
You'd spend a lot of time gardening, wouldn't you?
Live in the shed. You have to live in the shed, wouldn't you? And then that way you could go out and
I
do
think
things.
that the thing that's quite depressing at the moment is that when we started this pubcast, we were all unanimously agreed that we needed to do what needed to be done to stop spreading the disease. And now we're at the point where we don't trust the figures because they make them up as they go along to suit their political agenda. The decisions that they make have no logic, because if you take Jamie's county, for example, you've got a very small part of it where people are mingling together because they're retards, and the rest of the county are being sensible, and the R number is about 0.7. And so the way everything is being handled is just so depressing. These are people that can make decisions that affect the lives of just Joe Average in the street. And so, the more and more people you talk to are very much sort of, we're not really annoyed about the bloody virus now. We're annoyed about the bloody government cocking it up from start to finish.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there quite happy if it do yoga with a flower in their arsehole. How many other ways can I invent?
What club is that then? Can you put the link up to that?
Do you know what I'm doing? I'm crocheting giraffes to send over to Africa because they've got no giraffes left.
I wouldn't mind being invited to do a presentation to one of them.
Giraffe crocheting or flower arranging yoga.
Flower arsing. I'd be good at flower arsing.
Anyway, moving on.
Poor old Gary.
Do you know what,
another
Dave?
job of editing this week.
I'll tell you what, Dave. I wish you'd get off the fence this week, Dave, and say what you think.
Sorry.
He's really reserved, isn't he?
Anyway, moving on. I think this is probably, for me, the most important topic of the night, and one that we need to give some serious consideration to. What time is the right time to put your Christmas decorations up?
Christmas Eve. Take it down on Boxing Day.
I'm with you.
1st of December.
No,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Make the most of it. Especially after this. November's too early, it's just ridiculous. But December, make the most of it. As we always do.
It's kicked off round here.
I drove past today a giant inflatable Santa, and I'm like, it's still too early. It's way too early, isn't it?
No, yeah, but people are putting them up early because of COVID, aren't they? They want to cheer themselves up. And they want
but by the time you get to Christmas, you're going to be like,
have you noticed Jamie's tree?
Yeah, I come out with my tree last week. I'm happy
we know
to say
you've come out. We know
you've
you've come out, Jamie. We know you've come out.
Like that.
I used to love Christmas. When the kids were young, I used to honestly go out and I used to choose the biggest, because we always got a real tree. I used to love it. It was a real, we used to go to the garden centre, get the biggest tree. Sometimes I had to cut the top off. It was so big I couldn't get it in. It was like the Griswolds family Christmas in my house. You'd cut the netting on the tree and the branches would just go. I had garlands on the door, but since the kids have gone, now I just think I just can't be arsed. It's only me and Els.
Do you not get a real one though?
We've always got a real tree, but for the last 6 years, the trees have gone from 8-foot trees kind of all the way down now to about 18-inch trees. Just with one token ball.
Them little fibre ones.
Yeah,
optical fibre ones.
That would do me. Yeah.
Me and Mrs. G do nothing. We have zero
that
decks
doesn't
of any
surprise me.
sort.
Miserable sod.
What, are you trying to say I'm a Grinch?
Yeah.
He just has a single rose.
Just
Stick it out of my arse.
a cactus.
And a crocheted giraffe.
You guys carry on talking amongst yourselves. I've just got to do something quickly, but don't mind me. Just pretend I'm still here. Off you go.
What you got to do? You got to tell us.
I've got to take salad cream through from out of here into the other room.
I love salad cream. Do you know that should be a topic? People, they talk fancy mayonnaise. You can keep your mayonnaise. Salad cream is so underrated. I've always been a fan of salad cream.
Do you keep your salad cream in the fridge or in the cupboard?
Oh, in the fridge. And do you put your eggs in fridge?
Yeah. No, but I've got salad cream and mayonnaise in the cupboard, and I get told off because it should go in the fridge, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, put that in fridge.
Just when you walk.
Well done, girl.
Yeah. No.
How did he know then? How did he know that he had to go and get the salad cream?
Text message off the missus.
Text
Morse
message.
code.
Would have gone something like, "Oi, prick."
Now.
She's in the kitchen giving did it.
No Morse code.
Oh, he's got to put the screen back up now.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I hope he
What a
keeps this
backdrop.
in because he's giving away all the secrets now.
This is it.
This ain't going in.
He's
is it?
spoilt the magic of the pubcast.
Let's all be quiet.
And what he's going to do, he's going to edit in all of a sudden, like, and so we're having a serious photographic conversation. All of this is going nowhere. You mark my words. This won't see the light of day.
1. Oh, he's back in the room.
I'm back in the room. Cut.
As I was just saying, Gary, you're looking so svelte these days.
Yeah, I bet you were saying that. I bet you were.
I noticed you're not using so much Imac these days.
It's all that low-calorie salad cream.
I love how that grey towel turned to black. That is very David Blaine, I've got to say.
Yeah.
Certainly was.
Anyway.
Good fun.
I'll find out what you see. See, I can find out because I'm editing, so I'll know what you all say.
We know.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
did.
we've just said. Makes it worse.
And now we're just wondering if you're going to keep that part in the video, in
Unlikely.
the podcast.
Unlikely.
Unlikely.
You never know. Oh, what are we going to talk about then?
I want to know what James is eating.
Shortbread.
Oh, you still at shortbread?
Rosamond, I love that.
Oh,
Sweetbreads.
full of sugar. Full of sugar.
Yeah. I like sugar.
I know I do. Jelly
Pretty good
babies.
chest when I eat sugar.
Jelly babies. That's why I'm a fat bastard. But you're not.
I think you've lost weight, actually.
What's your secret? You know what? You might be right there.
You have lost weight in your face. You've been out a
Thank
lot
you.
in summer.
You.
You what?
Thank you very much. I'm getting ready for going up Helvellyn.
Oh, yeah. You will lose weight then.
I know.
You'll lose about 4 stone in shit.
If you're coming out with collar and everything. Oh, is it getting in the eye? Yeah?
Get cycling clips on.
Oh God! Look at the height of that.
Are you seriously?
Yeah, definitely.
Are you, mate?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Easy way. From Filmy.
From Thirlmere, yes.
Yeah.
But I am also thinking I want to go to Red Tarn. And
Yeah.
funny enough, inspired by a certain person with initials JRB, to park down at Patterdale and walk up the hole in the wall.
Yes.
And to just go and visit that area, not climb up any of the high surrounding fells of Catsycam and what have you.
It's got to be right conditions. When
I just
went,
got
just
to go and see
bathed in fog, really thick fog and thick snow. Just
incredible scene.
I think for the Christmas special, I'm going to do a compilation of James and Mally talk about the lakes.
Okay.
I know.
Good sell.
I have
'Cause
no
it's
clue what they're talking about.
Every single week.
Who's this John Reginald bastard?
Every week.
But we have to put up with it on the
podcast.
we have to put up with it on the chat as well, don't we? You know, we've got their the
It's like their
messenger
own
chat.
private channel.
They are. So sometimes you feel rude interfering.
Darren, you're involved
Well,
in that.
Karen's
next
involved,
Christmas it
yeah.
could be the 3 because I'll tell you what I've done over the last week. I've now got, for 2021, I've now got 5 weeks booked in the lakes, and I've got the first 4 months, the last weekend of January, February, March and April, all booked in the lakes as well. So my 5 weeks starts in May. But yeah, I've got January, Feb, March and April already booked as well.
I'll be with you in January.
I hope you do, mate.
Where are you going in January?
Hope you do.
Have you decided yet?
Well, I'll tell you what I've been looking at, because I took your advice, James, about Rhino's Pass.
Yeah.
And the only thing that worries me about Rhino's Pass in January is... Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
but
think...
if you go up from the River
Bear with us, gentlemen. Sorry.
Dudden,
We'll come
if
back
you
to
go
you.
up from the River Dudden end, it's not that steep. It's just a gradual. But if you go up from Blee Tarn end, you won't get me going that way.
Yeah, so you're talking about going from west to east.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the winters these years, they're not icy anyway. The last 2 or 3 years, it's never been icy.
Well, I'll tell you,
I'm
if we do
saying
it in
that-
January, look at them three.
Oh, they're still here.
There's nothing in this. Still more interesting.
Blank page.
Oh, right,
Daily
sorry,
Mail.
gents.
You
Come
can
on.
come with this.
Let's bring it back. Sorry. That was comedy gold, though. That was fantastic. Right.
Back in the house.
I'm going
we talking
visiting.
about
I'm going visiting someone. I hope if Wales bloody government don't have outdo with it. I'm a David. I'm coming saying hello next week. I think.
Yes.
So I'm quite excited about that because it's always good for head over into the land of Wales. It really is.
Are you
I hope
allowed
you're
to?
welcomed.
Well, if I am or I'm not, I'm past giving a toss. It's
You've got the right name anyway. You might be welcomed.
yeah. I think I might be all right. Yeah, I might be
Just
all
don't
right.
speak.
Don't speak. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Is that a 70's tune?
No.
Right.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Jane.
Did you see what I did
Very
there?
nice.
Oh.
Come on, let's get into it.
Go on then. So we're all
Oh.
picking. We're going to do a little series, aren't we? And we're all picking this week our favourite tracks from the decade of the 70s. So you only get one track, Mally. You can't have an album or several hundred songs. You can only pick one. So who wants to go first then? So your favourite?
Can I?
Darren.
Right.
Of course you can.
Let me see if I can get this. Right. So before I tell you what I'm going to pick, I have to mention probably not just my favourite song of the 70s, but one of my favourite songs of all time. But this is not the song that I've chosen. Go on, Gal.
Can we guess? Can we all play that? We try and guess each other's track before you mention it. Talk about this one, and then we'll all try and guess which one your favourite of the 70s is.
Well, I'm going to tell you.
We don't. We guess.
Right.
You just said before I tell you my favourite track of the 70s, I'm going to tell you another one, which is my favourite of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rewind. Can you rewind it, Gary?
So I got a great idea. Thanks for
Good
that
job
lead
we
in there.
rehearsed this.
Thanks for that lead in there, Jamie. Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to all name our.
So do I tell you now or not? I'm really confused.
No,
Do I
I'm
not?
gonna guess it.
I think you should play it so we have guessed what it is because we
Yeah,
might
but
not
I've
be
not
intro.
chosen. I've not chose it.
Okay,
your
Right,
favourite.
Right. So,
Go
listen.
On, your favourite. Don't go on. What you've
Right.
Tell
not
us the story,
chosen.
Darren. Just tell us the story.
Right. So I have to say that I've
will tell you
not
stories.
chosen this song, right? But probably my favourite song, not just of the 70s, but one of my favourites of all time is Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh.
I just think that song. I mean, when that was written, I kind of watched the Queen film, and I thought they were so brave at the time for actually releasing that song. So
Groundbreaking.
I could have
Video
picked
was.
that. I could have picked that so easily, but it's the song that I've chosen, and the reason I've chosen this because for me, whenever I think of the 70s, I just think of flared
rollers.
trousers. I think of
Disco.
the disco stuff.
Let's
so,
go.
So this is what I've chosen for.
Bee Gees.
Can't
hear a
beat
thing,
that.
but never mind.
You can not hear that.
You can now, yeah.
Now I'll tell you what. I'm going to play this in the background. Now I'll tell you something. Whether you like this or not, if you was in the car on your own,
No.
Oh, aye.
you would try and hit the high notes.
Oh, aye.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Definitely.
Everybody?
That looks like one of your vlogs.
Reminds me of a certain video I used to watch at VHS.
So there you go. There's my 70s track.
Brilliant track.
It is, isn't it?
Brilliant. Great album. Yeah.
I'm a bit worried though.
Go on, Dave.
I'm quite worried. I'm worried that last week we were accused of not really being much about photography so far.
Yeah.
Look how it's going.
Let's just interject there. When you're out taking pictures and you're in the field,
In your flares.
do you wear headphones and listen to music whilst taking pictures?
No. got to
Answers.
Yes.
Down
Take the
below.
ambience. No. Got to take the ambience.
I noticed Dave on his last video, he had his headphones hanging down at the side of his rucksack strap, and I thought, there you go.
And if you're walking,
I was listening to the Archers.
as you do.
Don't worry, we've got some really fascinating photography talk coming soon.
We have, just bear with us.
Yeah, honest.
Bear with us.
Yeah.
Who's next?
The week after next.
Well, that might
wait
even
for
be the
fans.
thumbnail, the Photography Pubcast with a line just going straight through the photography. Just the pubcast.
That's
Yeah.
a good idea, that. I like that for the thumbnail.
But to be fair, Lynn will enjoy it. Who cares about anybody
Yeah.
else?
Yeah.
Well done, Lynn.
Good old
You
Lynn.
know, proper, gets it. There's a lot of people out there who understand because they've watched us. So I do apologise to anyone who's never watched our channels and has never watched the pubcast. If you want something that's serious, well, you may as well go and watch someone else.
You're not going to get it.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
But we do have a laugh.
It's the point, that's it. We only
Yeah,
came
but
together.
let's be fair. If we record on a Thursday, we've all got to work on the Friday, so we're all having tea and biscuits. But if we record on a Friday, it's
Like
carnage.
now.
Yay.
Like last week.
Game on.
Who's next? Come on, who's next? Who's going next?
Go on, Jamie.
Come on, Jamie.
Oh, no.
Come on, Jamie.
Jamie.
No, but the thing is, I've done a playlist and you won't allow me to play it all. Oh!
Oh,
Wait, Dave, steady on there.
One
Wait.
step beyond.
My Spotify just released itself too early. So I ain't got a clue. You know, that's the one. You got it already. I spent a little bit of time on Spotify this afternoon. I've even subscribed for 3 months free just so I could download the tunes to play it on here.
Cool.
And I went towards the latter end of the 70s because that's my era, sort of 78, 79. But I put one in my playlist, which you're not going to allow me to show, which was 75, and it's a bit of an off-the-wall one. But
Michael Jackson.
shall I just sort of play the intros to a few?
Michael Jackson.
Never mind.
No, it's not that. Shall I play the intros to a few? And then
Go on,
can
mate,
I-
go on,
are
go on.
you going to allow me
We
to
get
do
some.
that?
Go, yeah.
Boy, good is this? Good. Go on.
Was this going to be
Right.
beat the intro? Is it? Go on then.
Go on. One step beyond
What
madness.
this? This is the Heavy Monster sound.
Sound around.
You got that one?
Yeah.
Right.
One step beyond.
I was in the crowd at the two-tone tour. It was good fun.
Oh, Blondie.
Blondie.
Shattered Pats.
I've had her.
Had a heart of glass.
Just stunk.
Seems like the real thing. Right, okay, that's that one. Right, this is it. You might get this one. Come on.
If the kids
Pistols.
are united.
Oh, stiff little people.
No.
Stiff little fingers. Buzzcock.
Sex
No.
Pistols.
Nope.
Here's a clue.
It's got a number in the name of the band.
Sham
Sham 99.
69.
And the
Sham
song.
69.
Sham. It's sham. It's sham. If the kids are
Sam
united.
69 and it's Hersham Boys.
Oh, Hersham Boys.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hersham Boys.
Right.
And the last one, which is not my choice. Sorry, just
Who's it then?
I'm carrying on. I don't
He's milking this, isn't
Yeah,
he?
isn't he?
What's
Have a
the
look at
one
this
choice?
One.
Now this is Darren a lot. This one.
You promised me green grass, not to tell.
What a lovely boy.
That's Windsor Davis, isn't it?
Keep your word.
Windsor Davis and Donna
Windsor
Stell.
Davis.
Whispering Grass. What a classic.
Oh,
What's got me going? Oh, it's getting emotional.
What a classic. So anyway, the one I've chosen
it's green grass.
Yeah.
is this.
Oh, tune.
This is
The Boggles.
my all-time.
Video killed the radio star. This is high pitched as well.
Worried.
Oh.
Right.
Taxi.
So hang on a minute. So far we've had the Bee Gees
Yeah.
and the Buggles.
Yeah.
Boggles.
You've had the whole decade of the 70s,
Pick the end.
and you pick those two songs as your favourite
Yeah,
songs.
Don't knock the Bee
I've
Gees.
done the same as well. I've picked something that's right at the end.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
right.
picked
So have
one
I.
right at the beginning.
Go
Oh,
on then, James.
It's the Doors.
No, you
The
see,
I reckon it's the Beatles. I reckon it's the Beatles.
no, 70 just breaking up. Man. Right, so this, I love a variety of music. I mean, I started off, I looked at Art Garfunkel, ABBA, Sex Pistols, but it all boiled down to this song, and it's a song he used to sing as well.
Can we have a rendition?
No. Now, it was a song which wasn't written by the artist. It was written by someone else in 1967, but released in 1970.
Jimi Hendrix.
Nice melody, and it's still going now. Not half as good as what it used to be. Okay, this is Elton John and Your Song.
Great song.
When you're ready.
Turn it up. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those. I think it's a wonderful song.
Great song.
Boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both do. Don't kill it, Jamie, don't kill it.
So who wrote that then?
Hands
There you
up
go.
who'd use this in
Bernie
a video
Taupin.
if they
Bernie
wouldn't get
Taupin.
demonetised.
Ah,
Bernie Taupin.
yeah. I thought because they always wrote together. I didn't realise
He wrote the
that
lyrics,
on his
didn't
own.
he? Elton John wrote the music.
Yeah. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is one of my favourite albums.
Yeah, but he bollocksed it up when he did the version for Diana's funeral.
Oh,
Because nobody can listen to Candle in the Wind these days.
What you got, Mally? Go on.
well, this song changed music forever for me, and it weren't the first, but it's known as being one of the first. It was released on the 16th of September 1979, and I'm a massive...
Can you be more specific?
I can be more
Just got in there,
specific.
70s. Give us a clue, come on then. I'm going to guess
Well,
it.
I'm a massive prog rock fan, and I love all
Tubular Bells.
prog rock. So this song is completely against the grain. It's against everything that you would thought I would pick. And I'm going to start it at the bit that I think really really kicks in. I'm not going to put the intro because the intro is like 40 seconds.
Stand
you
by
ready?
7.
Yeah, we're ready.
Go on.
Go on it.
I almost picked that.
And Wonder Mike, and I'd like to say hello.
That was the first song I ever bought.
Is this a Sugar Hill Gang, is it?
Yeah.
Hip to the boogie, sit up, down the boogie to the bam bam boogie.
Is it Will Smith?
You don't stop.
Sugar Hill Gang.
Brilliant song.
You ready?
Check it out, I'm the CAXN, the OVA, and the rest is FLY. You see, I go by the code of the doctor of the mix, and these reasons I'll tell you why. You see, I'm 6'1", and I'm John to fun, and I dress to a T. You see, I got more clothes than Muhammad Ali, and I dress so viciously. I got bodyguards, I got 2 big cars, I definitely ain't the whack.
That was the beginning of hip hop, commercial hip hop.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It was, because I can remember that coming out, and we'd be in the school playground saying, "They're not singing, they're talking. What's going on?"
What's going on?
It was so new and different.
African Bambaataa was actually up there first, but Sugar Hill Gang with that track seemed to just
but Africa didn't get the play that they got. It was only when John Lydon worked with him after he'd had success with Public Image that everybody heard of Africa, because prior to that nobody knew who he was.
And he for me transformed modern music, and the Sugar Hill Gang were a part of that. It was a complete new era of music.
It was music without singing. It was music talking. And they still do it to this day, and they think they can bloody sing.
And it hasn't changed at all.
I can't believe you picked that, Mally. I really can't.
Do you know what?
I was so close to picking that, and I just thought, no, I won't. I'll go with my original choice, because I've got so many fond memories of that song.
Yeah, yes, me too. Amazing time. And I'm a massive 70s prog rock fan. So to pick that was just a curveball. And the only reason why I picked it's like Young MC. Young MC was a really amazing rapper that transformed things in music early on. And wow.
Gary, you.
Well, can't follow that. For me, I thought
can't touch this.
For me, the 70s was one of the worst decades for music. I didn't really like much from the 70s at all. And I was only 8.
10 years?
Didn't really like much of it. 80s, 60s, loads of great music. 80s, 90s, loads of great music. 70s, difficult. So I picked some. I was only little, remember, I was only 7 by the end of the 70s, but I'm kind of picking these from stuff I listen back to now, I guess.
Picking-these?
Yeah, that's it. So, Band on the Run by Paul McCartney. Was
yes.
Highway to...
Three songs for the price of one.
Exactly. Highway to Hell by AC/DC. Hotel California.
Oh, yeah.
Should I Stay or Should I Go? That was in the 70s, wasn't it? By the Clash.
Yes,
They re-released it.
Yeah.
Clash, 70s.
So all of those.
No,
81,
that was the 80s.
81.
I don't know, could be. But this is the one I picked mainly because my dad really liked it, and then I kind of got into
That's
them.
all right, then.
In sort of the mid 80s. I sort of got into myself. So this is the song I picked.
Sultans of Swing. Brilliant.
Awesome.
And I just love his guitar playing as well. I think Mark Knopfler's probably 78. I did check it,
I'll tell you.
Yeah, it was 1979. I was doing my A-levels.
Oh, don't stop it, Gary.
Money for nothing.
Yeah, keep playing.
No, don't.
I wanted to pick Tunnel of Love, which is a better song, but that was from 1980, so I couldn't have
Bruce.
it.
That's
I'm looking
debatable.
forward to next week when we do the 80s, because there's loads of songs that I love from the 80s, but the 70s just.
I had one that, and I thought it was in the 70s, but it was in the 60s, 1968, and that was Lily the Pink, Scaffold.
Oh, okay.
That song.
Yeah.
It probably got
It was
re-released.
68, so I couldn't have it.
I love the Beatles.
So
in the 60s.
I came into the 70s. I was aged 9 in 1970, and so I've got the pick of the decade. And the track that stands out for me, and I have to apologise, you'll have to mix it in, Gary. I don't have it queued up. In 1976, my dad burst into the living room with a record player, and me and my kid sister, who was 5 years younger than me, sat there and went, "Oh my God, we got a record player! What happened?" And he said, "Oh, well, actually, I won the football pools."
Wow.
He won enough money to pay off the mortgage.
Wow.
But he didn't. He bought a record player and a telly. And he wheeled the record player in and parked it in the corner and plugged it into the wall. And he said, Kerry, this is for you. My kid sister put this single on, Donny Osmond, Puppy Love. And that single got worn out over the next few weeks.
Oh, that's a lovely
David, I've got
memory.
you a single as well.
Sure,
Oh,
you can
thanks,
get
Dad. What you got me?
Go on then, Dave, what was yours?
They called it.
So he said, I've got you. He said, I understand you quite like David Bowie. Well, I was royally tumescent at this point. Yeah, I was just into my teens. And he put this single on, The Laughing Gnome. I'll leave you with that.
Found that one.
He got it. He got it.
You must have been really happy.
You know this, Jim.
Yeah.
Photography. Let's talk about photography. So
Come on then.
Let's actually talk about some photography before we lose every single listener and viewer. So you asked a question, Jamie, didn't you? Your
Did I?
question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did. All that while ago. And your question was, what elevates a shot from just mediocre scroll by
Nikon.
to a scroll stopper? So Nikon. Did you say Nikon?
Is that the answer?
Yeah,
It has to be
so.
taken on a Nikon.
Yeah. So what does? Dave?
What?
I was just checking you're still awake, mate.
The question was obviously based
Go
on.
on, say it again.
No, I'll repeat the question for Dave. Now, the question was based on, obviously, if you're using, I don't know, Instagram or Facebook or whatever your social media platform is, a lot of people scroll Instagram, particularly scroll up Instagram, and it was interesting to me because I do it a lot, and I was sort of asking myself, why do I particularly stop on that image? What makes me stop on that image? What makes me like it, rather than it just being another scroll past shot? And I haven't got the answer to it, which is why I thought it would be interesting to talk about, because I think it's a combination of lots of things, isn't it? It could be a striking image from the point of view of just the subject matter. It could be the light. It could be the colour. It could be lots of things that attract you to it. But I didn't know whether there was anything that you guys have got to contribute that says, well, that's why I would stop and look at an image, particularly because it's more interesting than just a mediocre snap that people put on Insta, really.
Well, can
do
I
you?
just add something to that? All right, so let's just come away from photography just for a second. I'm just going to go off road for a second, but no, I'll come back. Trust me.
It's taken us an hour to talk photography. Can we just come back to that?
No. Listen. Right. But if we go back, I don't know, I'm guessing now, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, when we only had 3 channels or 4 channels on TV, everything on TV was special. Then you get Sky with 100 channels, and now there's nothing to watch. You're jumping all over the place. We were talking about the other day about YouTube, and most of us watch more YouTube and Netflix now than we do watch Sky with 100 channels. And I think photography, there we go. Do you like the way I brought that back, Joe? I think photography is very much like that. If you go back kind of 20, 30 years ago, that's when there was less viewing options, whereas today it is saturated with images.
Similarity,
I think sometimes you scroll past just because there is so much choice, which is good that there's so much choice, but equally it's a shame that there's so much choice, because I know I perhaps bypass a lot of good quality images because they're not just jumping out, like they perhaps would have done 30 years ago.
It's just, Instagram's just not the format to view good photography, is it? 'Cause it's so simple just to go like that.
Yeah.
That's half the battle. But the key thing is, it's got to stand out. Mainly, if it's oversaturated, perhaps that stands out. If it's different. But just the fact that you stop and look doesn't particularly mean it's a good photograph. next.
Yeah, it's what attracts yourself,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? You know, like my wife's brunette.
Yeah, she is.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, it's attraction. It's attraction.
Oh, funny talk.
I like black and white. I like black and white. So I'll tend to stop and look at a mono image
I do.
possibly
Yeah, same
more than I would an oversaturated image, which Instagram's famous for. Punchy, grab your eyes, rip them out your head, stuff them up your arsehole. Where personally, I'd just sooner like to see some delicacy. Jeff Beattie did a shot actually of the Horde at Ulverston, which was interesting, and that was a black and white. No, you're not.
Shaven.
I'm being corrected here. What are you then?
Blonde.
What you are?
I'm a
I was
redhead.
getting told off.
I got
damn
a right
it.
redhead.
I'm
Well,
blonde,
we
I'm
listen
over.
to Dawn.
Not this time of year. That's quite dark. That. Come on, get your head on here.
Come on, Dawn.
Just drape your hair over the camera. It's like a test. That's dark.
Yeah,
It's
still.
not brunette.
Yeah.
It's not brunette.
Hello, Dawn. How you doing,
Hey,
love?
Dawn. Dawn,
Right,
I'd say.
Karen, cut that bit.
Along with everything else.
You must learn by now that nothing
2 minutes.
gets cut.
Well, the option of 2 minutes is sure.
Yeah.
It's going to look like a trailer.
So far, we've got about 5 minutes so far.
Pizza. Can I have pizza with me brunette? Please, I'd like a spicy hot job. Instagram is just saturated and full of these grab your eyeballs and shove them up your arsehole, where I personally like to see images that are maybe there's a bit of detail in it, or I like black and white, as I was saying. But it's horses for courses. I can't believe I've just said that saying. But it is, isn't it? If you like photography, you're going to look at images that are a bit more depth to them. And I'm not saying that patronising. If you're not into your photography, as in, I've got my camera in my hand every day. Camera. And that's the difference between someone who might have a phone in their hand every day and they're not really focused on photography. So that's what I like to see, Jamie, is images that appeal to me, that have possibly had they're possibly from a photographer's eye.
Yeah, that's the difference, isn't it? Because Instagram generally is to feed the masses, isn't it? So you could be anybody want to look at an image of a cat and a dog or a sunset or a sunrise or whatever, and it will please somebody. But from a photographer's perspective, what would stop us in our tracks is a shot that stands out from a quality of image perspective, and I don't know whether it's composed fantastically or whatever, but we have a different subjective view because of what we're looking at. From
So
an image
what
rather than the
platform are
masses.
you talking about then, Jay? Are you talking about
But primarily
magazines,
Instagram.
books, online?
No, I'm primarily talking about Instagram or any social media, and the scroll by was the comment. You know, like I do a lot of just flicking by images, and all of a sudden I thought, oh, that one looks nice. I'll have a closer look at that one. But and it was a genuine question. Why did I stop at that? You know,
That's
what
the
made
problem,
me look
though.
at that?
Maybe the problem isn't what picture takes your fancy. It's the fact that you're looking at it on essentially Tinder for
Platform.
photography.
Yeah.
Because
It's exactly
that's all it is. Yes, no.
That's
no,
why I think
no,
Twitter's a better
yes,
format for
no,
it.
no.
photography.
Yeah, and the problem
Yeah, I
is
agree on
You've got
Yes.
to click on it. Or you got to click on it as well.
Yeah.
Just
think
to
about how many really fantastic deep images you scroll by because they don't instantly take your fancy. You know, look at when you think about those pictures that you look at, and at first you go, oh, I'm not really sure there's anything going on there, and then you take more of a look and you look around it and you're like, wow, actually that's really interesting. They'd never get a look in on Instagram because you're too busy just flicking for saturation or black and white or, you know, long exposure seascapes or whatever it is that takes your fancy. So maybe it's the platform is the issue more than, you know, is the image.
I agree with James. I enjoy more images on Twitter than I do on Instagram.
Flickr, dare I say,
I don't go on that anymore.
Do you use it?
It could make a big comeback.
I think it should. The quality of images on there is so much better.
Yes.
Yeah, you use it a lot, Gary, don't you?
Yeah, I'll put all my stuff on Flickr.
Yeah.
So
I like Flickr.
But doesn't that almost bring us back to what we were discussing previously about, you know, where we view images and do we bother with social media and all that sort of thing. Stop laughing. I'm trying to make a serious point.
Sorry, Dave. Go on, mate.
No, I've got a serious point to make.
I just
join me next week.
I love Merry Dave. Merry Dave is my favourite being on earth.
Join me next week when I'll make a serious point. No, but we've talked about this before in different guises. It all boils down to the same thing. And I think that if you have a social media platform that doesn't allow you to really look at an image, then why would you bother? I've binned off Instagram, I've binned off Twitter for those very reasons. And it just strikes me that if I'm scrolling through a social media feed, which in these days tends to be specific Facebook groups, I'm not going to mention them, but Mally, what a top group that is.
Oh, why?
But
U-Togs.
when you're bowling, yeah, that's the one. You clock into U-Togs and it's just a big long list of, well, absolutely nothing. But you look at an image and you immediately know how much effort has gone into it. And I think that is the one key thing that makes us go, ooh, let's just have another look at that because this guy really worked at it. And I'm sure that there are plenty of people that just look for the lovely saturated colours and the this, that and the other. But serious photographers, by and large, understand how much effort goes into it. Mm. And I think that's when you stop and go, oh, let's have a look at this. And that, call a spade a spade. That's what attracts me to what you boys do. End of.
I think you're right with Instagram, though. It is a kind of a constant treadmill of images, and that's why, as I said, I know I'm just repeating myself, but on Twitter, I suppose it's who you follow as well, isn't it?
Spot on, Dave.
I've always, I think it's because on Twitter, you look at the text, and then there is an image that accompanies it. So you read the text, then you look at the image. It just slows you down a little bit, and I think that's what goes back to my original point. Where
it's giving a shit, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's giving a shit. It's actually reading the story behind the picture,
exactly,
and the whole picture.
Yeah,
to say it's not the whole picture, but it's the person.
Yeah,
it's the story, and the settings are last. If you're asked.
But I also think that there's a certain amount of judgment that goes in where we look at what somebody's written and go, are you trying to get me to look at your picture or do you mean it? Because sometimes you read some flim-flam and you think, yeah, I'm sorry, mate, but it doesn't matter what you say.
I suppose it depends
it's still
who
rubbish.
It is, doesn't it, really?
Aren't we all guilty of that? I'm guilty of that because sometimes I have posted and I do want people to look at it because personally I'm very proud of the image, so I'll say, look at this image because it's either got we'll get this across the board, it's either got Minge or Willies in it, so
do you know I used to be really bothered about what I put with pictures. I'm not going down that road. I used to be really bothered about the text that I put with pictures, and I used to be really bothered about making sure that when I posted something to YouTube, I put some on Twitter and I put some on my own Facebook page and I put some in a group here and I put some in a group. I don't do any of that now. I just release it. If I put a picture up, just put a picture up.
Why? Yeah.
Because
I like a bit of a story though. I think
just change though. I don't put much though.
I think it's because you get fatigue. You just get like you just like you know what?
Same.
I don't want to post this same spiel again I think that probably more to do with how I feel about myself than anything else, but I think people get sick and tired of reading my stuff. I always released another vlog. But if they want to watch it, it'll pop up anyway and they'll see it. So
I thought you meant fatigue yourself from having to write a story for every single thing.
A bit of that too. Yeah.
Because I've like Mark Littlejohn, I'll just mention, he puts quite a page to an image. He puts quite a story to an image, and I do quite like reading it. But do you know what's very important, and it's something I think everyone forgets, is that we seem to have no time. All of a sudden, the world we live in, we have no time to sit and wonder, to sit and think and read another person's comments. And I quite like making time of late because I'm guilty of this. Everything is 100 mile an hour, and then it carries on into your life. You put your phone down, and everything's like, I've got to go and do this, I've got to go and do that, and everything's at such a fast breakneck speed, and the lights fall in, and darkness comes, and you go to bed, and you get up, and you start again, and it's 100 mile an hour. And I think, well, hold on, let's take control of our lives. Let's just have a minute. Let's give it a bit of a woosah. Let's read a comment. Let's read a comment. Let's look at the image. Let's slow down. Let's just take it in and let's breathe. Let's breathe in, breathe out. Let's really enjoy what we're looking at and not
Bloody yoga video.
Do you know though? It's so important.
Rose up his arse.
It's so important to breathe. And you know what's mental? That COVID and it's not just
breathing's
mindfulness.
probably one of the most important things out there.
If we don't breathe, we're all taking very.
Mally, you've lost the audience, mate. You've lost the audience.
I have.
Bring it back, Mally. Come on, mate. I'm listening to you.
It's very important, I think, to just spend some time looking
Breathing
at what
in
you
and out.
love. Looking at what you love. Just to bring us all back down to earth and to make us all realise that life is important. And if you've got problems throughout your photography career, life, hobbyist, photographer, you need insurance. And on this week's Photography Pubcast, we're now going to talk...
Shut up.
It was going so well.
No, it wasn't. It
No,
was
wasn't.
rubbish.
No, it was meant to be fun. Has anybody got insurance? Because I've not.
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, bloody
Yeah,
hell.
I've got insurance. And I would recommend it to anybody.
Is it about £8 a month?
Yeah.
Depends, don't
Yeah,
it,
about
really?
11 quid a month mine is.
Oh,
PhotoGuard
right.
I use.
Yep.
James,
more than
are you
Yeah.
insured?
Yeah, of course I am.
He's
I insured after my accident a few years ago.
How much?
What?
About £8, £9?
About 9 quid a month.
Nah, it's not too bad, is it?
Well, it's worth it.
What accident was that, James?
What's that?
What accident was that?
It was before I got my 5D. Before I started vlogging, actually. Was it? Yeah, I think it was.
400D.
About 4. No, my 6D broke. About 4 years ago.
It is good when you've had a claim to know that they'll deal with it really swiftly rather than having to struggle to get it through your house insurance. I had a lens that was flooded by seawater once, and literally as soon as I'd got an estimate to say it was written off, then they delivered a brand new lens. Actually, the lens that was standing there only
Was it
last
gone?
week, that's now not. A brand new lens was replaced within 48 hours of the estimate coming back.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how many
No.
of us use PhotoGuard then? I know I do.
Is
Yeah.
it FotoGuard that you use?
So 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
four
Thank you
out of
very
6.
much, gents.
Mine's on my house.
FotoGuard.
I've got my camera gear as a separate listed item on my home insurance. So that's accidental wherever it is, indoors, outdoors. If it gets stolen, if I drop it, whatever. And I think I've got
I've
about
just found-
£5,000 worth of insurance. I think.
That whenever I've claimed, which is very rarely, off my household insurance, there's always a battle.
Well,
And I
you
just
see,
don't-
we're with More Than, and when
more
I
than what?
when I dropped my camera, or when it fell off the tripod into the river, they were fine. They replaced the camera. They replaced the value of the lens. No problem at all. They would have replaced. Well, they wouldn't have replaced the value of the camera because at that point I hadn't specified an amount. But they were fine. They were absolutely fine with it.
Right.
FotoGuard.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm a lot more expensive than any of you guys. I've listed everything that I've got.
I was going to do that.
I've only listed my camera and my lenses. That's all, not anything else. I think
So,
I'm about 10, 50, 11 a month, something like
Because
that.
I've listed pretty much everything that I would take with me at any one time. So I thought, because, if it ever got stolen out the back of the car, not that I ever leave anything in the back of the car, even when I go into a cafe, I always kind of take the bag with me. But I thought, that sod's law, that one time that I nip in somewhere, come out and the back window's been stoved in. So I've listed everything that I carry in the bag, including the bag, and mine's working out to about 20 quid a month, about 200.
It's interesting how you visualise the details of the blag. I come out of the cafe, the back window was stoved in.
Well, I've just done it many
it
times
was all
myself,
gone.
so I'm just trying to think, well, how would I do it? Kind of.
He's already written the claim
Cut
for
that
us.
bit.
This is it. It's like, well, I tell you what, I come out of the cafe, they'd gone in through the bonnet. I hadn't envisaged that one.
Am I still covered?
No, I'll tell you what, I went in for a slice of toast once, and I came out of the cafe.
It's on the form.
Someone-
I was eating toast.
Someone cut the
Not
rubber
scrambled egg
out
toast.
the back of the van, popped the glass out, gently laid it down beside the van, reached in and took all my tools. I only went in for a slice of toast and a cup of tea.
Wow.
They hadn't even smashed the glass.
No, cut the rubber, sucked it out.
Well, at least you can put the glass back in.
Well, that's true.
Amateurs,
done.
amateurs, Dave. Amateurs. If you haven't stoved it in, you're not doing your job properly, are you?
Exactly. That's not exactly county lines, is it, Governor? Apparently.
Good. So we covered insurance. Are we happy on insurance then?
And on next week's podcast.
Sponsored by PhotoGuard.
No, I much appreciate that because I've never had insurance, and as you might know, I don't know, I dropped me D750 and cracked it, and I'd have probably been covered by photo insurance, but my house insurance wanted 400 quid off me.
Yeah. No, get it, mate.
Yeah. Excess
And I think
400.
once you've got insurance as well, you do relax a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm not saying you'd abuse your equipment, but you just
God,
think, well,
no.
if something was to happen, at least I'm insured. So
Yeah, you look after your gear. I absolutely love all my camera gear, and the thing is as well, it's joking about getting an insurance claim. I've got quite a physical attraction to my Zed. We've slept
Really?
together.
Never noticed.
There's not going to be another Zed like this one.
never.
Yeah,
Was
wait
that
till the
two?
Z9 comes out. You'll be in there.
Well,
You'll be throbbing.
moist as a badger on a wide open lake.
I wish Purple Moose would deliver some more beer. I've run out.
To me. Deliver it to me. Anyway, what should we talk about now? Let's talk about let's talk about this. I mean, I know it might take you a little while to have a think about, but what location have you been to, either photography wise or vlogging wise, where you haven't really expected too much and it's really like blowing your socks off? And equally, where have you been to, photography wise or vlogging wise, that you've really hyped up and thought it's been going to be a fantastic place and it's been a bit of a letdown? Anyone want to go on that?
God, he pulled that back, didn't he? Have you noticed how he pulled it back from...
That's why he runs the show.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
Exactly, Jamie.
I'm really trying.
Exactly.
Well, first example, the Unfen. I wasn't expected such a delightful place. I really was taken back. I didn't expect that at all.
You just don't listen to me at all, do you?
No, I just didn't believe you.
No.
But I did. Absolutely a wonderful place, that is. Really.
It's often those places like Home Fen where you sort of because you haven't seen much from there. I think probably as well. There's a bit at that point. There was a bit from Jamie. I've done a little bit. Maybe Darren, a couple of other vloggers, but no, it's not a real honeypot location. Something where everyone goes to, and you turn up there and you're not sure, and then you're like, wow, okay, yeah, I get that.
yeah, I agree,
I think
James.
for me, the Jurassic Coast.
Yeah.
Last year we had Helen booked the Jurassic Coast as a holiday. We had 2 weeks away. She booked the Jurassic Coast, which was 7 days, and then we left there and we went to Snowdonia for 7 days, which obviously I booked. So I never been to the Jurassic Coast before. Helen was super excited to go. I kind of went thinking, we'll just suss it out and see what's there. But photography, I was blown away by it. I could have quite easily spent the whole 2 weeks there. I mean, I'm glad I didn't, because obviously I went to Snowdonia for a week. But it was, the seascape there was incredible. I suppose because obviously we kind of got like the Norfolk coast, which is very, very soft, very sandy. There's no rocks or anything like that. So when I went to the Jurassic Coast, and you see the big breaking waves, over the rocks, beautiful. So for me, that was probably the best location I've ever been to without expecting anything.
I'll tell you what surprised me about the down at the Jurassic Coast, one area where you've got Durdle Door, which is hugely like photogenic and photographed to death. The other side of it, you got Man of War Cove, and actually, I mean, I was only just starting into vlogging then, and photography really. I probably should have gone the other side. I think there's more. Looking at it now, there's more opportunities and more competitions the other side at Man of War than there is on the Durdle Door side. But it is a beautiful place, Jurassic Coast, definitely.
It's quite a long stretch though, isn't it? No?
I'm going to talk about one small area. Yeah, I'll tell you where it looks really nice. Portland Bill. Have you been there?
Yeah, we went to. We done kind of the touristy thing. Went to Portland Bill, not for photography, but just all along that coastline. I mean, if you went there purely for photography purposes, you would not get bored.
I mentioned this the other day about Jurassic Coast on Dorset and coming further around from Dorset as well. I don't know what the place is called though, but there's like these cliffs that angle very steep and go round. I don't know the name of the place, but further on from the honeypot places, there's just these magnificent like cliff faces.
Tom Peters been there. Tom Peters do a vlog from there.
No, not where I'm thinking. I haven't seen. There's a spot where I'm talking about where they shoot down the hill and there's a little farmhouse and a fence, and then you get the cliff edge rises up. I think there was a series filmed there, a very famous Broadchurch. Was filmed there, but further on from that, round the corner from that no one seems to go, there's all these beautiful like kind of cliff edges and bays.
Where's Seven Sisters? Seven Sisters? No, got that wrong then.
Is
Kent.
I think it is Kent actually.
Kent, yeah. Seven Sisters a bit further up, isn't
it? But in the Jurassic Coast, you got Mute Bay, you got Kimmeridge. It's just I could spend. Well, in fact, we did actually book 2 weeks there to go. Like in 2020, we booked 2 weeks in August, which obviously got cancelled. That's how much I loved it.
We've got to go
blown
Ireland.
Away by the place.
We've all got to go Ireland. We've got to go and see the
Western coast.
Yeah, the Atlantic, the wild Atlantic way.
What is that Giant's Causeway and that type of?
No,
it's South
Northern Ireland, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the wild.
What we need to do is we need to get Darren J. Spoonley to guide us around Kerry and around Dingle Peninsula, the Ring of Kerry, and then down south around Kinsale Head.
Oh,
and that would be epic.
Yeah, that'd do it. Yeah, defo. Yeah.
Do you know what? I had 3 trips booked this year. One was Norway with Willie Nielsen, north of the Arctic Circle. Another one was to meet Jeff and go to California. The other was to hang out with Darren J. Spoonley about September time in Ireland, and none of them happened, and I'm gutted.
I gutted as well. October, me and James were going to go this year.
We're going to go, weren't we? My 50th, yeah. So that's where my family originates from.
Before the pubcast, we'd had it sorted, and then it just, no chance. Definitely. Yeah, well, I think we should all go now, because Darren's doing a mighty fine job with the Irish Photography Pubcast, and long may it continue.
Yeah, definitely. Good guy, Darren.
He is a good guy.
He's so professional, isn't he? When he's on the mic,
He's a
it's
natural.
like, wow.
Really.
Jesus,
Yeah.
he's way more professional than we are, isn't he?
Doesn't take a lot, does it? Really?
To be honest.
We don't mention
That's
Willie's
not
planners,
difficult, is it?
No, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, anyone else got any places? That
Well,
they
you
weren't
raised the
expecting?
subject, Gal.
Well,
What about
yes.
you?
Okay, well, my
Jamie.
one is Wyoming Brook, and I know you don't like Wyoming Brook that much, Darren, or weren't that impressed by it, but
I never said that.
I thought you said that you. I'm pretty sure you. No.
No, not
You
me.
just didn't
I
have a
really,
dump there.
I really. No, that was him.
I
wasn't expecting much when not many people have been there, and I wasn't. Well, I'm sure lots of people have been there, but not many people have been there to vlog, or I haven't seen many photos from there. I thought it was amazing place. I wish I could have got there this autumn, especially with the autumn we've had and the colours. God, I can imagine that place would have been fantastic. I saw some pictures from down the road at Padley Gorge that a couple of people had taken in the height of autumn, and that was fantastic as well. So, yeah, not expecting that at all when I saw it.
For me, one of the places that really I felt I got a lot out of it, and I didn't expect it because it is quite a honeypot place, was Bleay Tarn.
It's lovely, Bleay Tarn.
It blew my
It
mind.
really is a nice place. It's just oversaturated.
Yeah, but what I'm about to say doesn't actually include Bleay Tarn, because what I discovered so I went to Bleay Tarn to do what everyone does, and that's the Bleay Tarn areas, the rocks, and then the Langdales. And I wandered off and carried on walking around, and just on your left hand side to that, I don't know the fell. James might help me there. It's not Rhinos. No, not Lingfell. Opposite side.
Side Pike.
No, opposite side. So I walked up to Side Pike, and I went up to Side Pike. So as you're looking down the Langdale. I wasn't expecting much because everyone's shot Bleay Tarn, but I didn't stay at Bleay Tarn. I walked to Side Pike, and when you walk, so if you've never been there,
You sure it wasn't Lingmel?
no, but if you've never been there,
Yeah, it was Side Pike.
Oh, Side Pike. That's right.
if you've never been, well, there's the Rhinos fell, isn't there? There's a Rhinos fell, isn't there? Am I making that up? No. Anyway, let me.
No, it's hippos.
Let me explain to you. As you walk past Bleay Tarn, carry on the path and walking up to go to Side Pike. And if you've never been there and you've never ever seen what's on the other side of that hill, there's a moment when you get up to the top. Bleay Tarn's behind you, so you've left the honeypot
So you're
behind
looking
you.
at the Langdale Valley.
Yeah, but that moment at Langdale Valley, when you look, you get to the top and it opens up.
That is some view.
What? This is, oh my goodness me. Oh, this is incredible view, and I didn't expect much from that. And one of the places where I really expected a lot, I thought I'm gonna get loads from this. It's gonna be fantastic, I'm gonna have a real good shoot here, and it was such a letdown. I thought, what am I doing here? Why am I here? And why have you even took the time to even bother? And again, it sadly, I forgot the name of the place.
I thought there was a huge build-up. I thought this build-up's far too long.
Giving himself
I was
time.
on the edge of my seat.
Sycamore Gap. Sorry, Sycamore Gap.
Sycamore Gap.
Sycamore Gap.
Northumberland.
That's not a service station, is it?
That's Watford Gap.
So Sycamore Gap. Yeah, the Sycamore Gap. The
That's
Sycamore
never
tree.
interested in. What else can you do? There's a tree in between. them.
But there's Adrian's Wall, and I thought, this is going to be wonderful.
You can keep
And
it.
I really struggled. It was shockingly hard.
Well, you say that, but Mark McNeil's made a living out of that shot.
Sorry.
It's a damn fine shot, though. Damn fine
It is.
shot.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Why is the Watford Gap so far north? It's nowhere near Watford.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah.
They used to say, you know, you're in the
Watford
north
Gap.
when you're north of the Watford Gap,
North of Watford
right?
Gap.
Watford
It's
Gap.
terrible.
Watford
It's
Gap's
terrible
right up,
substitute.
way nowhere near
It's
Watford.
near Northampton, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. What's
Is
that all
it?
about? Yeah. What's that all about? Anyway, you want to talk about?
So next week, what's your favourite motorway service?
Oh, I can tell you mine. Mine is the one. T-Bag.
No,
Is it called
it
T-Bag?
wasn't
Is
a
it-
suggestion.
is it
It was a shut up.
Is it
Let's talk about the
T-Bag?
topics. Let him go.
What's the one on the M6 that's going up towards the lakes?
Lancaster.
Lakeside.
No, T-Bay. Is it T-Bay?
Yeah,
T-Bear.
Teabag.
No, you're on about the lakeside one.
I don't
You're
like
that one
T-Bear.
further on.
Oh, Killington.
Killington.
No. I'm sure it's T-Bay.
Oh,
They do. They've
T-Bay.
got like,
Hilton
they've
Park.
got like a
My car
little.
broke
They've got
down
like a
there.
little, like almost like a little butchers of their own, little bakers of their own.
Yeah, T-Bag.
Oh, my
There's one of those at
Do you
Gloucester.
know, can I say,
Gloucester
like the
Services.
whole pubcast, Gary has sat there like this, shaking his head. Now he comes to life with motorway services.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to
And
tell.
on Greg's.
yeah,
listen-
that'll get left in.
Listen, I'll bring the podcast to life if you want. The place that disappointed me the most, that I thought was going to be much better, is the Lake District.
Ooh.
What?
I was.
Me
oh my
too.
God,
It
I was so
disappointed
excited.
you.
I was so
Where did you
excited
go,
to
though?
go.
Where were you?
Yeah, where did you
Where
go?
did you go?
Oldswater.
Where did you go? Where did you go, Gary?
Oldswater.
Where did you go?
Derwentwater.
Diddling-ding.
Other night in the rain and
No,
fog.
do you know what? It just, honestly, I think after going to Snowdonia and then going to the lakes, Snowdonia just
Yes.
beats the lakes hands
Yes.
down all day long. The
Oh,
the-
mic drop.
everything. It's just the lakes are they're so like gentle. It's like
Gay.
gentle sort of rolling sort of, but Snowdonia is like rugged and just like
It is that they are different. They
You
are.
went the wrong-
I think
you
they're
went the
different.
Go to
wrong-
the west. Go to the west side of the lake, sir. Go to the western side of the lake. to
I
get
tell
the
you
rugged.
what, from a person who doesn't know anything about the lakes or anything about the lakes, the thing that struck me the most about it was there is nowhere to park. You go to Snowdonia, and there's like literally.
I don't
just-
walk there, Gary.
No, but you go to Snowdonia and it's like there's a pull in here, there's a pull in there, there's a pull in there. It's like the lakes have been built to make you keep driving on the road and not allow. There's nowhere
They
to
also
park.
tow you away
What are you
now
gonna
in
do?
Snowdonia.
I just found it really difficult. I found it really.
We got lay-bys, we got burger vans, we got ice cream vans. What do you want? Hey,
No, but it's like okay. So
You want tour vans?
driving around. I think it was Derwentwater. I'm not sure. Which
There's
one's
your
Ashness
problem.
Bridge? Which one's Ashness Bridge?
Derwent.
Right, so driving around there, and you come around the top end, so you're higher up. Darren's just had it. He's had enough.
he's given up. He's had enough.
Yeah. But you're driving around the top end of Derwentwater, and you go, "Oh, that's a nice view." Oh, okay. Oh, I'll go on a little bit further.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
That's
a
nice
nice
to
view.
walk and walk up.
Yeah, but
In Keswick.
Yeah, but no, further round. You sort of drive around the top end of Derwentwater, around the. I don't bloody know. You're around the top anyway.
Borrowdale end.
And I don't know. The top.
Oh,
but
find out.
you're higher up. You're higher up, so you're looking down onto the lake.
Surprise
rather than-
view and all that business.
Yeah, round that way.
Ashness.
Yeah,
Bridge.
you've
But
got
Ashness
not-
Bridge down
But
Borrowdale.
not as
Got a
far as
back.
Ashness Bridge. But you just like literally goes just that's a good view, that's a good view, that's a good view, and before you know it, you've driven 4 miles and there's nowhere to stop to take advantage of the view.
Yeah.
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 And it's like where am I
Exactly.
going to park?
It invites you to get out and explore.
It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal.
I'm sure if you guys, took me around the spots and said, right, here's a good place to park. But for someone who's just turned up, so I tried to go to Blee Tarn. This is back a while back.
Don't get me started.
No, but I tried to go to Blee Tarn and I couldn't find the place. I'm like, where is it?
It's not there.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't exist.
There's no sat nav.
It's a
I had
fantasy.
no sat nav because there's no 4G. There's no signal.
There's no
there.
signal.
I put in the postcode for Blee Tarn, and I ended up driving round and round and round in circles. I was like, where is what?
I think you need an update in your sat nav, to be fair.
Maybe, but all I'm saying is for someone who doesn't know the lakes very well, and for someone who like the casual sort of turn up on, and have a look around, it's so difficult to find somewhere to stop to actually take
Don't get me
advantage
started.
of the views. I guess if you know what you're
I
doing.
like both places, but I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. There's a place, right, that I really want to visit, and I've been there once, and it's Ilan Valley.
Oh, why bother? It's rubbish.
Where's that then?
Mid Wales, near Rhyder.
Yeah, Mid Wales.
I'll tell you what I don't like. Peak District. It's never right floating the boat as Peak District. Never got me.
Crow Mill, what's the point?
Oh,
Peak District. The Peak District.
I just think
Yeah.
midges, swamped by midges every time I've been there. Just,
No, I don't mind. I don't favour the peaks. I like the peaks, but if it was like out of the three, the Lake, Snowdonia, and the Peak District would be bottom of the list. But I'm not. That's not to say that I dislike it. It just doesn't appeal
I think it
to
depends
me.
on what your benchmark is, isn't it? We're over in the Flat Fens, and the Peak District is actually quite interesting and attractive for us.
Yeah, it's got some lovely places in
There's
the
quite a
peaks.
lot of cattle in that neck of the woods, as I understand.
Oh yeah, I've been chased many times.
I think the thing with the Peak District is if you go to the Lake District or you go to Snowdonia, you're like, everywhere you look, there's something. But you go to the Peak District, it's quite large. It's like you have to go to the specific spots, if you like, the Roaches or Stanage Edge or whatever. You can't just drive around the Peak District and go, I'll just pull up in Derby or whatever, and there's some great shots here. Or do you know what I mean? Or there's a lovely one over in near Stafford or whatever. You've got to go to the actual spots. Whereas you go to the lakes, it's like everywhere you look, really. And Snowdonia, everywhere you look, looks nice.
There was a place that interested me, that surprised me actually, that us three went to, which was Cove Hive when we went to Suffolk.
Oh yeah,
because it's just a beach, but it's unique with those dead trees on that beach.
It is.
And with that sunrise we had that morning, it was really, really nice. And
But,
it's just that
Joe,
really surprised me that morning.
You need to get back there sometime soon, mate. You won't recognise it.
Yeah,
I mean, the three of us
erosion.
went about 18 months ago,
yeah,
and I went a year ago. I only went about 4 to 6 months after the three of us went, and it was decimated then. I dread to think of what it's like now with the coastal erosion. All of them trees that were hanging on, that was all on the beach. So dangerous. That's a dangerous walk.
well, it was a
now.
dangerous walk down there anyway for the three of us, wasn't it?
It's
Along that
even
cliff edge.
worse now.
You see, the thing is, with me and Mally and James, we didn't get invited. I'm just wondering why.
You're always invited.
we was it that time, were we? You cheeky man.
Do I really talk like that? Seriously, because I think I've got posher. Have I still got an accent? Have I still got an accent?
Porsche.
Fucking mate.
Is that the type of fucking car you've got?
Jesus, I can't believe this. I thought 20
Porsche.
years in Cambridge, I thought, this is like quite posh now. I'm thinking Stephen Hawking.
Anyway, thanks very much for watching on that interesting. Anyway,
Be interested to read the comments on this one.
if this goes out and I've actually managed to edit this, then thanks ever so much for watching, and you all owe me a beer. Good night.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Gary,
I've got nothing.
if you can edit this, we owe you 10 beers each.
No, you do. You owe him 10 beers.
Who do?
What?
Who do? Who do?
What are you
Who
saying?
do? Who do?